So is there a better feeling than just being on top of the world? Here in Arizona, there's only one hike to truly get that feeling. And this one may be on your bucket list. If it's not, you're probably going to want to add it.
Well, I don't know. After hearing Troy huff and puff up that hill, I don't know if I want to add it to my bucket list.
I don't know if it's a hill.
We don't even want to.
Full-blown mountain.
I know. We don't even know if he made it to the top yet. On this episode of Rediscover Arizona, Troy Lynch heads up north to hike the tallest point in the state, Humphreys Peak.
If you live in Arizona, one question that's probably crossed your mind is, what is the tallest point in Arizona? Well, today we answer that question. We are hiking Humphreys Peak, and we're going to reach 12,633 feet. This is a 5-mile up and 5-mile back down hike, so let's do it. The starting point is right next to Snowball Ski Resort. Now we start the hike at 9,200 feet, so the air is already thick. Right away, you'll be mesmerized and surrounded by the woods. Bristlecone pine trees everywhere. And according to the U.S. Forest Service, these trees have some of the longest lifespans on Earth. So one thing that is highly recommended is to start this hike early, because it's supposed to take about 5.5 to 7 hours. But when you do hike early, it's gonna be a little chilly, even if you're doing it in June like I am. So we're a little over 1.5 miles into the hike right now, and we've only climbed 884 feet. In total, we have 3,333 feet to climb. And also just remember that the air is thinner. The altitude continues to get higher, so you might get out of breath a little bit faster. So frequent breaks, lots of water. What's really unique is at some points you can see where large rock slides and avalanches have happened. All right, you guys ready to hike this? Just kidding, the trail's over here. Let's go. Yeah, you could probably hear my breathing. I know, it's not great, but that's because around 3.5 miles in, that's when things start to get steep. We have less than 1,000 feet of elevation gain. Oh my gosh, look at this. On this mountain range, it can snow any month of the year, so it's smart to check the weather before hitting the hike. The last thing we want is to get snowed on or to get hit by lightning in a monsoon storm. This makes the hours-long burning sensation in your legs totally worth it. 360-degree views at the top of the state where you can see the Grand Canyon, the Painted Desert, the mesas, and Oak Creek Canyon. We are officially on top of Arizona, 12,633 feet in the sky, and I tell you what, no better feeling. The views are amazing up here. It is breathtaking. We can check that off the bucket list. Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Rediscover Arizona. Enjoy the views.
Okay, I changed my mind. I'm going to add it to my bucket list.
Proof I went to the top.
Yeah.
I made it.
Good job.
So I will say the only thing at the top, unless it's incredibly windy, there are tons of small little bugs.
Oh.
And they do not care for privacy or anything like that, so they're just kind of flying
They're getting
all
all
over.
up in your personal space.
Yeah, I was like, I was up there for probably like 20 minutes, and by the end of it, I'm like, all right, I can't handle it anymore. I got to go down.
What time did you start that hike?
I started at 6 a.m. So, and there were people that started probably at like 4 a.m. So there were people coming down as I was still like midway going up. So, yeah, people start early, which is obviously the best way to go about it. But yeah, check the weather. I saw a decent amount of snow in the month of June, which was pretty crazy.
So the temperature, a lot different then up there. If you don't want the triple digits, then
Oh man.
I mean, it's gonna be a hike, but it's gonna be colder up there.
Imagine a sunrise or even a sunset.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That'd be beautiful.